What
The banks, they write it off. I don't know whether that's still
you don't
there.
go harassing their family like he had my debt or she had my debt, right?
SACCOs and banks, I hear, I'm not very sure, but I hear they do write off that debt in case maybe you die. You know, these techniques, Rose, we do not say, now I'm through with Gestalt MTT technique. Now I'm getting to the other technique. Now, so they work hand in hand. So like homework is another technique. So you can give that homework. If you find they're uncomfortable with even writing down there, they tell you I don't remember anything, then you can also give them that as a homework. And that's what we call now the journaling. They can go write okay, a letter to the deceased, write that. Or it can be in form of a journal. Write what you feel. Just write, basically, write anything you feel about the deceased, about yourself. And we journal, we write it freely. You're not censoring the language, you're not checking your handwriting, you're not, and it is whichever language you write. Sometimes, depending, if you write in English, Kiswahili, or your mother, you feel some point you want to articulate in your mother tongue, you can write it down there. You can draw if you feel like you want to draw. So with journal, we do not say specific language. So when they write the journal, they can also maybe, when they come back for the session, you can pick some of those issues that they had unfinished business with the client. So that I've talked about the techniques, the Gestalt, the chair technique, the homework,
the journaling,
the journaling. Yes. So
when it comes to the empty chair technique, do you know there are people who now they have jobs,
Yes.
And maybe when their parents or their guardians were dying, they were not stable. So sometimes they want to tell them, I wish you were here now. You see how much I have accomplished. You see the kind of a house I would have built for you, and those kind of things, you know. And also maybe like if maybe you are a terrible husband or maybe a terrible wife, can it be used for apologizing?
Exactly. You know, unfinished, when you talked about, in fact, you've given examples of unfinished business. Unfinished business could be that. You'd be like, a couple of friends also say, now our parents really brought up us with struggles. Now they are not there to eat what I've been able to accomplish now. They are not there to do ABCD. Yes, that is part of the unfinished business. Even that anger. This person probably was mistreating you and now they are not there and now you're peaceful. You still harbor anger because of what they were doing. That's part of it, part of unfinished business. It could be even as probably you had their debt. You owed them some money and they are dying.
But I think you should also pay that to the people who are left. You should not.
Or leave. What about if they owed you? What do you do? They had your debt. The banks, they write it off. I don't know whether that's still
you don't
there.
go harassing their family like he had my debt or she had my debt, right?
SACCOs and banks, I hear, I'm not very sure, but I hear they do write off that debt in case maybe you die and you had not paid. I don't know whether they follow the guarantors or what happens, but I guess there's some that aspect of the bank, also the human, the human phase, that your debt is written off.
You don't have to go gossiping.
And that's what Jesus Christ did. He wrote off our debts at the cross.
And now we are free.
And now we are free. So, so all those could be the unfinished business that you have with the person and you address them. So the counselor should be very, very careful as they address. And don't worry if emotions come all over again. You know, because I'm a counselor supervisor, I do supervision for counselors, and so when
there's a place you meet with you,
yes,
awesome.
They narrate when they are narrating like where they are stuck. because counselor supervision, and at this juncture, it's good to tell the counselors, very important to attend counselor supervision once a month, at least once a month, so that you're able to process, especially if you've been having many hours, so that you're able to process. No, sometimes when the counselor is narrating to me where now they are stuck, you know, they come where they are stuck, now we help them. Sometimes they feel, they might tell you, you know, when the client started crying, it was like, how do I deal with them? And now this person had lost, that loss had like 2 years or so. Now the client starts crying all over again, and it is like we are doing the counseling afresh. Yes, exactly. You're now in that process. Even if the person had like stayed for some time, you know, sometimes time is not necessarily a healer. So, and you know, when now you bring up those emotions, remember they had been buried. So when you bring them again, the client is rereading. They are living it now. It's like, it's so fresh. It's like this person died yesterday. So let them just cry. Give them time to let it out. Yes.
And you're also reminding me what you said. Like, grief is a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Today you are in denial. You think you have accepted. You come back to anger. So you should not beat yourself so hard if you keep on going back and coming forward, and coming forward. And when it comes to the empty chair, because I think that is very important. It doesn't have to be a very serious business, like a project you hate with someone and maybe they died before you finish the project. So unaona tu vitu hapo za project hazikumaliza kazi, and you are like, I wish you waited just a little while. There are also some other little things, things you didn't tell someone.
Yes.
You see, like people who are married, maybe you don't tell each other enough that you love one another. Because one thing, when a person passes, or they die, you are left to love people who are around you, because you know you still have other people who are alive in your life. So are there small issues that need, or does hell has to break for you to use the empty chair technique?
No, let me say, there's maybe not a question of small or big, because the client is the one who feels.
The weight.
The weight. To me, like maybe that one of, I didn't do 1, 2, 3, 4 could look small, but it is very great to the client. So we let them. In fact, therapy, the easier part of therapy, that's what I tell counselors, is that simple. The client is the one with the material, and actually is the one with the answers. So you as a counselor, you are facilitating that. So let them say, you can ask a question, how may I help you? How may I help you? And then the client will talk. And then maybe if it reaches a point, from what you have told me, which issue do we start first? This one. Or from the issues you've told me you didn't finish up with the deceased person, which one affects you most? Period. So I might think, as a counselor, I might think what is affecting her most is because the deceased owed her money or did that. But it's what we are saying. It's maybe true. That I never cooked maybe something nice for my child. You see, all along, why didn't I even bake her a cake? Okay, I do not want to say as small as that, because again, it is big for the mother who feels, now my daughter, all along, I had the oven with me in the house, I had all this. Why couldn't I even one day bake her a cake? Now she's dead, and we were living with her all these years, for 20, for 12 years, for 15 years. And so that's something for them. Even those
the small things,
let them articulate them. When they articulate them, ask them, which one do we deal with first?
As we wind up on that session, I just remembered, some cases when you are therapists, like you and me, kuna vitu mtu anakuambia, and from your point of view, as you're saying, as a counselor, they might not make sense to you, but to that client, because it's goals which working in counseling, you are meeting goals. So someone comes and tells you, like, my spouse or my kid died of diabetes, if I didn't cook them a lot of food that fattened them and they had a lot of sugar and touch guilt as a part of, I know this is a kind of mix-up kind of, but touch guilt as a part of, because I remember you told us last time, that when you are guilty, you don't accept.
Yes.
You know? So there are people who in this unfinished business, they're like, there's something I must have done wrong. And, or rather, let me just connect it. How do you use CBT as a counseling technique?
Exactly. All those things you talked about actually are thoughts. And CBT for our viewers, it's cognitive behavior therapy. Cognitive behavior therapy techniques postulate that we suffer not just grief, but any psychological disturbance as a result of how we think. It is what we think about. That, in fact, one simple way of stress management is to recognize what things do I have control of. What things don't I have control of? Then in that case, and control means I can think about it and get solution, or I can think about it, I don't get solution. That one now I don't have control of. So cognitive techniques, there are many. There are a variety, but basically it's about, we call it in a way cognitive restructuring, or looking at your thoughts in another way. Like, for example, with that person, I gave them food with sugars and what have you. But now the question is it only that person who ate that food? And maybe you're cooking for the entire family. So, and with that, we call it now the disputing irrational thoughts. Is it that? Is it the only person who ate the food? The irrational thought could be as irrational as maybe rain. If it did not rain, I would have gone to see them in the hospital, or I would have, you know, if I bought more medication, if I, you know, all those things, it can come as a result of even the blame. You know, these ones you're saying, the blame, bargaining, they are all located in the thought process. And you remember what we talked about, the thought process, the survival brain versus the logical brain. Now, that time when you are stressed because of grief, we don't think, it's deactivated. So as one way of counseling is to activate the logical brain. Okay, there's something we would also want to point out here. Well, we are not saying people to live carelessly, so that later on if you have those thoughts that you say,
you are like, what the hell? They're not even true.
Illogical thoughts. They're saying people often try your best. But we are not saying that you don't take care of the sick people in your family. Take care of them. Actually take care of them the best you know how. Take them to the best doctors, the way you are enabled. Seek help from different people about, so that now you are doing what is within your powers.
What you can control.
What you can control.
Control your controllables.
Control your controllables. Cope with your uncontrollables. That is one thing to us who are now not bereaved. But even when you have done all that, there could be one thing that you forget to do, probably, and that one eats you up when the person dies. Because I want to bring in the point of also forgiving yourself. Because at the end of the day, we normally say when somebody has died, at the end of the day, who is the giver of life?
It's God.
Who is the controller of life? You know, because we have situations whereby people have been flown out of this country to be taken to either abroad as in the West or the East, or even here, South Africa or whichever country, for sophisticated treatment. We've had them in our society. But imagine they still die, even with the best doctors. they still die with the best doctors, the best medication, they have money and all that. So we are not in any way saying it is wrong. No, it is okay. And those family members have done their best. So, but this, we are encouraging the person who feel they did not do their best, that you restructure your thoughts and tell yourself, maybe there's nothing you'd have done to prevent. Because again, we have seen people even falling in the bedroom and dying. Somebody just falls and they die. So it is, we help when you're doing cognitive restructuring, you help the client. Okay, as a counselor, you will not lecture the client, you will not give them a lecture. Although we have psychoeducation, we talk about it as a technique. This cognitive aspect, you help them in probing skills, maybe asking them. You can ask the person, and by the way, you did all that. Tell me, I've seen this working in my practice. By the way, how do people die? Tell me the various ways in which people die. They say them, can be car accident, can be tripping in the house and falling, can even be tripping outside and dying, can be as a result of just very ailment, fast. Somebody gets sick and dies, somebody can prolong. They've taken time. So when you're probing such, when you're asking them that, so that now they stop blaming themselves. They see, after all, this person,
the external causes.
Yes, they would still have been there. And those other causes would still have been there.